Hello everybody. This is my new 2005 Prius gas sipper hybrid. Pretty excited about this car, not gonna lie. Got this car for an exceptional deal. It's a 2005 model. It's in excellent shape all the way around. Let's take a look at the back. It's white, of course. You can't already tell that. It's got the fog light package, HID headlights, fully decked out interior, which I'll show you. It's got brand new Michelins on here. It's almost zero wear. No love bug marks or anything on this, so to speak. And this thing drives amazing. Probably one of the coolest cars I've ever driven. I'm not gonna lie. I've driven some cool cars. Let's take a look at the inside. There it is. This is a pretty clean 2005. We looked at a few of them, and the carpets on them are gross, and seats are ripped, and all that stuff, and they stink, and people smoke in them, and it's just a nightmare. But this one's pretty sweet. It's got power windows, power locks, cruise control. It's got the, oops, sorry about that. It's got the navigation screen, or it's not navigation, I should say, it's a display screen. My terminology isn't perfect, it's because I'm a newbie on these, but I'm going to try to give the best review I can. So let's see. Let's sit down here in the cockpit and let's look at some of these cool features. First of all, first thing you notice is on the steering wheel, it's got some really cool gadgets here, you know. Aside from the typical volume up and volume down on here, you also have AC controls, you have your temperature controls. Then over here you have your defrost controls and your recirculation control, which is awesome. There's no key for this car, it just uses a fob. So basically this is the key. And as long as it basically has a proximity sensor, so if this key is near the vehicle, then the car doors will unlock, it'll allow the car to start, etc. So with that said, let's go ahead and turn the car on. And your heads-up display comes on, all your little warning lights and everything else kind of cycle. Let's see. Up here, it has your miles per hour, park, reverse, neutral, drive, fuel mileage, fuel gauge, and your trip meter. Here it shows that the engine did start up. It depends on how charged the battery is. Sometimes if the battery is fully charged, the gas engine doesn't turn on. If the battery is fully charged, then you can kind of drive it around like I just demoed with no gas motor at all. So let's go ahead and turn a little AC on here. Push the button over here on the steering wheel and we get max cold. Then flip it over here to climate and we can control exactly how fast we want the fan to blow. And I'll just note that the motor just turned off, which is pretty sweet. So no gasoline engine and we got cold AC. So that's also another really cool feature of this thing that I like. This is our gear selector here, and it's not mechanical, it's just digital. And you slide it over and pop it up for reverse, slide it over and pop it down for drive. When you put in reverse, it does this annoying beeping sound to let you know that you're in reverse, and that blinks. If I let my foot off the gas, she moves backwards. Go to drive. Self-explanatory. She moves forward. All, of course, with no gas motor because it's not needed. You want to put it in park, just push the button, and you're in park. No need to move any levers, there's no mechanics, there's nothing. And it's really tricky to get used to because you're so used to, grabbing a lever, or you're so used to, feeling the car move. It's a weird feeling. I like it though. It's kind of, it kind of makes you feel like you're moving ahead with the times here. So let's see. It's got a single CD player, which I don't have any CDs to demo, but it's got a pretty good radio in it. My Honda is better, but this is not too bad. And let's see here. It's got a little compartment down here. Put a bunch of stuff in there, contraband, whatever you got. It's got glove box here, which is pretty deep. Fit a lot of stuff in here, and then it's got an upper compartment for storage too. So pretty good amount of storage for the passenger side. You got a bunch of things that you don't feel like having fly all over the dashboard. That's a good feature. Over here is your dimmer, of course, for your lights, AC. You got your window controls over here, self-explanatory, up, down, for all 4 windows, your locks, your window lock mechanism, so if you let one go and your girlfriend's in the car, you can stink her out. No, I'm just joking. There's the mirror control there. And it's got a little auxiliary output there that is broken off, so that kind of sucks, but that's the only thing I have to replace on this car, so I'm pretty happy about that. Over here it's got kind of a space-age looking cockpit. It's pretty cool. This opens up to a cup holder. This folds back to a cup holder, so you can get 2 cups in here without having a huge, ugly, bulky cup holder. So I like that feature. Then in here, there's totally enough room here for anything I could possibly carry that's in my pockets. Got a removable tray, which is nice. So that's cool. The seat comfort's pretty good. I'm 6'1". I am 245 on the down, thank God. I'm going to try to get down to about 210, 200, but it fits me well, which is nice. This is not a stuffy car. If you're comparing it to, the only thing I can compare it to is the new Elantra and the Honda Fit, which I've both driven recently, and this definitely has more room than both, in my personal opinion. So if you think the Prius is a small car or is a compact car, it's not. It's a mid-sized car. Definitely feels roomy in here. Up here you have of course, the typical heads-up display with 2 lights that turn on and off. Your door control that controls if it comes on with the door or not, and a cheap little sunglass holder up here, which is actually pretty cool. Here's our cool little mirror. This has I don't know the technical name for it, but it's an electronic mirror that auto dims when there's car lights that are too bright behind you, and it also has the home link set up where you can, which is pretty cool. So if you notice a little blip in my video, I had a call come through, so sorry about that. On the passenger side door, you have your typical lock and window mechanism. And then back here, it's just your standard stuff. Back seat. Those back seats fold down. You can get access to the hatch. Do what you got to do back there. But this interior is in I would say mint condition. Whoever had this car before me took pretty good care of it. Let's look at some of these other gadgets up here. You have your audio control, which is cool. I don't really want to turn up any of these stations, but you can kind of see it's all touchscreen, which is awesome. You have your little presets and your sound settings up here. You can give it more bass, less bass, treble, all that kind of stuff. It's got display settings, so you can adjust your contrast and your brightness if you need to do that. And of course, you go to your info center. You can change it to English or another language if you speak another language. I don't, so I don't care about that. Your trip info. This is probably the coolest screen. I demo this in another video, so I usually keep it on this, or if I'm trying to track my miles per gallon, I track it on that. So it's pretty cool. There's your climate. So yeah, this is a nice little interior tour of the Prius. Down here, this is where you can put the key fob. You don't have to do it, but you can. So you don't want to lose it or whatever. You just pop it in there and it sits in there. Get out of the car, take it out. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, guys, this is the interior of it, and I'll go ahead and do a little demo of it outside here in a second. So I'll probably splice these together. Okay, let's take a look under the hood of this 2005 Prius. See this little monster power plant here. If I can find the latch. This car has the latch built into the hood right here. It's connected up here and it latches up there. So here it is. This is the little power plant that gets all the fuel mileage. Over here you got a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder motor that generates most of the power, and then it passes it over here to the hybrid synergy drive electric motor, which takes care of the electrical driving part of it. So, you know, I wouldn't say this is a simple system at all, but pretty easy to understand. Electric and gas mixed together make hybrid synergy drive. Hybrid. Here's the fuse block. Here's the typical fluid filling compartments, for lack of a better term. And it's just your typical new motor. I don't really know all the components on it, so I'm not going to act like I do. These headlights are pretty cool, though. These are the HID upgrade headlights, and I'll show you. There's what they look like there, and let's throw them on here. And it emits a nice blue light, which is cool. Probably can't tell for shit in video, but it's not your typical yellow. It's kind of like a blue, an iridescent purple blue. And down here you got your fog lights, which are pretty sweet. So yeah, that's a little tour of the engine compartment. And the last thing I want to show everybody is the hatch. Over here, it's got a little button up underneath here that you push. It's rubber. It's got some lift shocks. And there's the hatch, which has got plenty of room. Like I said before, these back seats fold down. It's got this little cover here that you can use, and you can cover all your groceries so they don't spoil in the sun, which is nice. Then it just kind of retracts back like that. Pretty cool. Back here is the car battery, and it looks just like a typical Honda, you know, little 56R battery, I think it is what it is. I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but it's a tiny little battery. That's the starting battery. Battery packs are up underneath here, and over here you got a nice little storage compartment to put stuff in. Let's lift these up. Gotta undo that one. And under here you got your jacking tools, which is pretty cool, kind of tucked away. And if you lift it up all the way, you got more storage space up underneath here. So, you know, to me all this little stuff helps. You know, you got things you want to carry around. And then, let's take a look here. This is probably not the most professional video in the world, but let's look up under here if we can. I gotta take that out, never mind. I'll do another video where I show you where the actual battery packs are, but up underneath here is where the battery packs are that actually drive the car. So yeah, that's a little tour in a nutshell of the 2005 Prius. If you got any questions or anything, shoot them over my way. I'd be more than happy to try to help you out with them or point you in a direction. So yeah, Prius all the way. Let's save some gas. Okay, here we are in the Prius. We're going to just do a start up from nothing and go ahead and move it into the garage here. So, foot on the brake, power. We get a ready sign up here, and let's go ahead and put it in drive. And let's bring it into the garage. It's that easy, folks. It's that easy to drive a Prius. And we're in. That was a pretty entertaining video. See you later.